Coming up on KOTA Territory News at 5:30, Central High School students make their voices heard on important issues in front of the Rapid City Area School Board. Plus, the South Dakota Stock Growers Association in downtown Rapid City expressing frustration with a new neighbor. And Governor Larry Rhoden is reportedly on the verge of making a big announcement about his future. Your news starts right now.
From Skyline Drive, this is KOTA Territory News at 5:30.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. I'm Phil Aldrich. Governor Larry Rhoden reportedly going to announce his run for re-election very soon. KOTA Territory's Blake Trolley has been digging into the situation and has our report.
The Dakota Scout reports that Rhoden will make an announcement here in Rapid City next week. The Scout says multiple sources have confirmed that Rhoden will enter the race. Now, KOTA Territory News did reach out to Rhoden's administration, which did not confirm the election plans. I do want to show you this, though. The governor was asked about his election ambitions last week.
Are you a candidate for election next year?
Potential candidate for election.
Yeah,
We'll be making, that's a fair question. We're getting closer. Obviously, we're taking steps, and every time I go out, I hear more and more people asking me to run, asking me to consider running, and we're very close to making an announcement.
Rhoden was sworn into office in January. He took over when then Governor Kristi Noem left her post to join the Trump administration to become the Homeland Security Secretary. Now, if Rhoden does in fact join this race, as being reported, he will be joining Congressman Dusty Johnson, Aberdeen businessman Toby Doden, and South Dakota House Speaker John Hanson. And here is the latest polling we have on the race. This is from South Dakota News Watch and the University of South Dakota. It shows Rhoden and Johnson statistically tied for the lead once you factor in the margin of error. So again, a potential big update in the Republican primary next year. We'll continue to track this story.
Thanks, Blake. The U.S. Senate has advanced hundreds of millions of dollars of spending on South Dakota military installations. The spending is wrapped up in one of three appropriation bills sent to the House of Representatives for approval, alongside a continuing resolution. The spending includes nearly $400 million for Ellsworth Air Force Base, $28 million for a National Guard maintenance shop in Watertown, and an aircraft maintenance hangar at the Sioux Falls Airport. The House could pass the spending bill as early as tonight. Well, abundant sunshine, and it warmed up nicely across KOTA Territory today. But will these mild conditions continue for the rest of the week? Meteorologist Ryan Larby is in the First Alert Weather Center. Let us know. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Phil. It was a nice day. We're looking out continuously throughout the week. Sunset, people traveling home from work already, as we're seeing clear skies right now in downtown Rapid City. The sun is down, which means there's a possibility to see the aurora once again tonight. We saw plenty of pictures pour into the station, hundreds of pictures that were submitted to us on our website, KOTATV.com. And good news, we aren't seeing too many clouds right now on First Alert Doppler radar, but some cloud coverage in central Wyoming is going to be making its way into KOTA Territory tonight. So unfortunately, those lights aren't going to be visible as long as they were last night. Temperatures right now across the area in the 40s and 50s as we see temperatures dip off into the 40s for the rest of the night in Rapid City. You can see those increasing clouds throughout the rest of the night. Will be partly cloudy before midnight and then mostly cloudy after midnight. So if you want to do the Northern Lights once again tonight, you're going to have to get out a little earlier tonight. I'll have more on the Northern Lights plus the entire forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, look forward to that. Thank you, Ryan. A legally blind man pleaded guilty in federal court today to receipt of child pornography. 29-year-old David Derby, who has a prior sex crime conviction, admitted to knowingly receiving child pornography while on supervised release. He confessed to soliciting and viewing child pornography, expressing a preference for videos of boys aged 9 to 12 that depicted sounds of sexual assault. On one video, it showed a victim crying in pain. Derby is facing a maximum penalty of life in federal prison and/or a $250,000 fine. The South Dakota Stock Growers Association says it's frustrated about a building being constructed next door. Last spring, the Rapid City Council approved a TIF for the Property Mill building to be built next to the Stock Growers Association office in downtown Rapid City. But the association says the city isn't notifying about several changes made to the project's plans. KOTA Territory's Brian Savage has our report tonight.
What used to be a parking lot next to the South Dakota Stock Growers Association on St. Joseph Street has now turned into a construction site for a building to house. Back in 2003, Property Meld presented a design in which 3 buildings will be constructed with a setback that will allow for the Stock Growers Association sign to be visible from all angles. The association's executive director, Doris Lowing, says now the developer is constructing a building in which a setback is being placed towards the alley, which would block the Stock Growers Association sign.
What would be the purpose of putting a setback toward an alley when you could have protected the sign?
A building setback is the distance a structure must be from a property line, which is created by local zoning ordinances. Lowing is frustrated in learning that changes to the original building plan were made without the association being made aware, but
it's not required to notify neighbors or adjacent people in businesses in that area. Just because it's not in the ordinance at this point.
Lowing says she wasn't aware of the ordinance until recently. She wants city laws to be changed so historical buildings can be protected. Rhoden isn't against this proposal as it was brought up at a recent Rapid City Historic Preservation Commission meeting.
An ordinance maybe have to be changed to allow neighbors or neighboring businesses to be notified when a building or a business comes up for level 1 review.
Rhoden understands Lowing's frustration as the building would now block the sunlight from the windows in her building and hide their sign. Lowing also detailed other changes that were made.
Now knowing after they received their TIF that they are not putting an underground parking in and they are diminishing the green space.
Lowing says she wishes the whole issue could have been rectified and the building could have instead been turned a different direction as the South Dakota Stock Growers Association office is historic and on the National Register. In Rapid City, Brian Savage, KOTA Territory News.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Brian did reach out to Property Meld for comment. He has not heard back from them just yet. Well, from bathroom safety to graduation rates, Central High School students voicing their concerns and offered solutions to face with members of the Rapid City Area School Board and administration today. It was an important opportunity for students to voice their opinions. One concern that strongly resonated with board members was bathroom safety. Students reported feeling unsafe and uncomfortable due to misuse. Principal Terry Lundeen acknowledged despite renovations, the problematic behaviors haven't disappeared, and board members agree.
I went to the National Board Conference 2 years ago when it was in New Orleans, and there was actually a discussion about when you design buildings, how important the design of the bathrooms are. And so it was really interesting for them, not knowing that background information, to hear from the student perspective how important just even the design of a bathroom and how that makes them feel safe and how that makes them feel in a school building.
Students also showing enthusiasm for a more personal matter, the ability to decorate their graduation caps. While the administration and board members expressed concerns over the approval process, students plan to formally propose the idea at Monday's student board meeting. Well, how long will these mild temperatures be sticking around KOTA territory? Ryan will have the latest in your accurate first alert forecast later in the newscast. But first, we continue our series on the lives and times of our U.S. presidents. Tonight's Commander-in-Chief reshaped the nation, literally. Stay with us. Leading up to America's 250th birthday next July, we're highlighting things you might not know about our presidents. Tonight, we feature a man who expanded the U.S. landmass from coast to coast. The 11th President of the United States was a career politician who reshaped the nation. James K. Polk was born on November 2nd, 1795, in a log cabin in Mecklenburg, North Carolina, the oldest of 10 children. He graduated from the University of North Carolina in 1818, studied law in Nashville, and was admitted to the bar in 1820. Polk married in 1824, but the couple didn't have any children. He was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1825, serving 7 terms, and was the Speaker of the House for 4 years. He left Congress to become the governor of Tennessee in 1839. He was a protege of the 7th President, Andrew Jackson, and given the nickname Young Hickory, a play on Jackson's moniker, Old Hickory. In the election of 1844, Polk was considered a long-shot candidate, but the Democrat won, with 49.5% of the popular vote and the electoral vote 170 to 105. At 49, becoming the youngest president at the time. Polk believed in manifest destiny, that it was the fate of the United States to expand across North America. By the end of his 4 years in the White House, with the addition of the Oregon Territory, parts of what is now the Southwest in California, the nation extended from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. He kept his campaign promise to be a one-term president and did not run for re-election in 1848. But the stress of being president led to his poor health, and he died in 1849. James K. Polk was only 53 years old. And the 5440 or fight etched on the barrel next to the statue was his campaign slogan. It refers to the northern boundary of Oregon's latitude line of 54 degrees and 40 minutes, land Polk wanted to claim. The Oregon Treaty set a U.S.-British border in the territory. Meteorologist Ryan Larmew says we'll have a warm end to the week, and he has the details coming up next in your accurate First Alert forecast.
Now, the First Alert forecast with meteorologist Ryan Larmew.
We're starting off tonight with our Golden West weather cam at Granite Automotive. That's north of I-90 on the north side of Rapid City, 50 degrees there. We're seeing clear skies right now. That's likely to change over the next couple of hours as temperatures across KOTA territory, 40s and 50s. We're 48 down in Custer and Spearfish, 50 up in Buffalo and Ekalaka, 44 in Alzada and Gillette. We're 55 still over in Sheridan and in the Black Hills. Those 40s starting to dominate the northern hills. Those are 42 in Nemo, 44 in Piedmont and Sturgis, and 52 right now in Belfouche for one of the warmer spots there in the northern hills. First Alert Doppler radar showing the satellite picture of some clouds starting to move into KOTA territory. Some thicker cloud coverage over central Wyoming. This is what I mentioned. It's going to be coming into KOTA territory throughout the night tonight. If you are looking to see the northern lights, we do have increasing clouds in the forecast, and that starts over the next couple of hours as we start to see those increasing cloud coverage before midnight, partly cloudy skies before then. But as we see after midnight, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies. The Aurora view line for tonight, once again, down to the Gulf of Mexico and near the Mexican-U.S. border, a KP8, which means northern lights could be visible, but we do have the cloud coverage issue over the next few hours. We will see the potential for mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures, though, in Rapid City only getting down to 42. With that cloud coverage, it's not going to be as spectacular as what we saw last night. Like I said earlier, hundreds of pictures came into the station, all of them gorgeous pictures. If you do catch one early on tonight, send them in to KOTA Territory News at KOTATV.com. Now, we are seeing temperatures tomorrow starting off in the 40s, rising to the 50s by 9 o'clock. A light jacket might be needed as you head out the door, but that can quickly be put away by the afternoon because look at this, 68 degrees. We are even warmer than we were today. Sunny skies are back in the forecast for tomorrow as we see temperatures increase, maybe even hitting 69 at around 2 o'clock. That sunshine continues all day long. And Friday, that's bagel in the street. Come and support the KOTA Care and Share food drive as you really don't have an excuse. 50s in the early morning hours, starting at 6:30, 51 degrees, ending at 9 o'clock. Will be 60 degrees by then. Mostly sunny to mostly clear skies are expected the entire time that we're all going to be out there. So come visit us at the Trinity Lutheran Church there in downtown Rapid City. Our hour forecast isn't showing much happening over the next 24 hours, but by Friday night, we could be talking about a few rain showers, especially into portions of southeastern Montana and northeast Wyoming. That eventually moves south. I think this model's overdoing it just a little bit, but Saturday morning we start to clear out. That's a cold front that'll be moving in by the weekend, dropping temperatures. Tonight, temperatures generally in the 40s and 30s. A few spots on the plains getting close to or at freezing. 33 in Wall and Newell, 44 though in Sturgis, 45 in Spearfish tonight. Increasing cloud coverage, unfortunately, will hinder the northern lights viewing tonight. Tomorrow, temperatures are going to be nice and warm, 60s and 70s across the area with sunny skies likely as we see a drop in temperatures by the weekend. 70s possible in Sheridan on Friday, then 50s on Saturday. Same story goes for parts of the Black Hills as Hot Springs is going to be 74 degrees on Friday, back into the 50s and 60s by Saturday. Rapid City is also seeing the nicer weather through the rest of the work week. We're going to be in the 70s, mid-70s here at 74 degrees. Also a little breezy on Friday with southerly winds increasing those temperatures, but then by next week, we're nice and chilly. 40s are expected for much of next week as a cold front really sweeps through the region. We'll be right back with more KOTA Territory News right after this break.
And now, KOTA Territory Sports, sponsored by your local Ford stores.
Good evening, everybody. The Harding County volleyball team punched its ticket to the state tournament by picking up a 3-1 victory over Wolsey Wessington last night. The Ranchers will be the number 6 seed for next week's state tournament in Rapid City. They will play 3rd-seeded Warner next Thursday's opening round at around 6:45. AA high school volleyball teams take the court for Sodak 16 matches tomorrow night, with the winners earning a spot at state. Sturgis will hit the road to take on top-seeded Harrisburg. The Scoopers will count on Hayden Larson to deliver another big match. The senior plays the all-important position of libero. Now, Larson is also a strong student. Next year, she plans on heading to college to study equine medicine. And for her efforts, Larson is our Gustafson Builders Athlete of the Week.
So the libero, as I like to put it, is we're most likely like captain of your back row. You only play back row. You're more of like the better defensive player. Like, we hold strong in back row, so you cover a lot of the ground. You're most likely the person that you try to take as many balls and serve receive. I'd rather go into a career that I find fun to learn about. So I've like always researched more on horses, so like just doing research and finding a fun degree on that, and it's a growing like program, so I thought it'd be fun going into that because you're always going to be learning something.
Pine Ridge's Marvin Richard III signed on the dotted line today to continue his basketball career at the Division I level with the University of South Dakota. Richard III has been a standout throughout his high school career. Last season, Marvin averaged 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, and route to earning first-team All-State honors. He helped the Thorpes rack up a 13-9 record. Now, as a sophomore, Richard III led Pine Ridge to the state tournament. He still has one more high school season in front of him. Now, Mapia Luta's Ashlyn Carlo is also taking her game to the Division I level as she is signed to play for the USD women's basketball team. Rapid City Christian's Maddie Allsteel signed to play volleyball at Black Hills State today. The Comets' Lars Kiefer will play baseball for Northwestern College in Iowa. We also have some signings to tell you about from over at the Spearfish High School today. Kate Scharf is taking her basketball talents to Western Colorado. Carly Reiners will play volleyball for Chadron State. Corey Kell will compete for the Black Hills State track and cross country team. Congrats to all the local athletes who have signed on to continue their career at the collegiate level. The Rush with a big game tonight. They're on the road taking on the Indy Fuel, and that game is already off and running. The Rush off to a good start as they lead 3-1 at the end of the first period. State high school football championship games crank up tomorrow from the Dakota Dome, all 7 classes. Coming up Thursday morning, it's Wall, or Friday morning, it's Wall taking on Howard for the 9A title. And then Friday afternoon, STM plays Elk Point Jefferson for the 11B championship. That's a look at sports.
36 and a half hours and counting until the KOTA Care and Share food drive, Bagel in the Street, this Friday morning from 6:30 to 9 a.m. And this year, your donation will have twice the impact. A very generous donor will match every dollar donated, and for every dollar received, 6 pounds of food can be purchased. Here is the route. Stay in the right lane on St. Joseph Street and turn right on 4th Street into the parking lot of Trinity Lutheran Church. We'll be waiting. For your donation, you'll get a huge white chocolate chip bagel, baked fresh from Black Hills Bagels, and a freshly brewed gourmet coffee from Dark Canyon Coffee, or a Pepsi product. All proceeds will help feed those who are struggling in our community. So join us on Friday morning for Bagel in the Street at Trinity Lutheran Church. And Ryan, the forecast looks fantastic for Friday morning.
It looks fantastic, so no one has an excuse to not be there. I better see every single one of you at Trinity Lutheran Church Friday morning.
Looks pretty good tonight, too.
It does. Right now, we have clearer skies in Rapid City, which is good for the Northern Lights. KP of 8, viewing line down towards the south, are seeing the possibility of seeing that overhead in Rapid City and KOTA territory. But let's take a look at the current radar. No rain, but we are still tracking those clouds in northeast Wyoming. Right now, we're clear in Rapid City. Go north of the city to get away from those lights. And throughout the next 7 days, we are talking about the possibility of nicer conditions through Friday and then cold by next week.
Bagel on the Street Friday morning. Can't wait.
Excited.
All right, that'll do it for us at 5:30. We'll see you.
Thanks for watching KOTA Territory News, your local news and weather authority.